Who knew?
South Carolina coach Shane Beamer at the table. Did you know that,
Hi, Coach.
I've heard. Yeah, I heard somewhere.
Yeah. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Hope you guys are. Been a full
we're
day.
Good to see you. I heard you telling Slay you were a GA up in Tennessee.
I was.
Which we know.
I was a GA at Tennessee 2001, 2, and 3. Used to go down to Thompson Bowling and watch him play.
Hey, Golden Years right there, Coach. Thank
nice.
you, man. Yeah. We both look young, baby. That's what I'm saying. Look at me something.
There you
Exactly.
go.
For those that don't know, coaches that Shane Beamer has worked with, among others, obviously, but George O'Leary, Georgia Tech, Philip Fulmer, Tennessee, Sylvester Croom, Mississippi State, Steve Spurrier, South Carolina, Kirby Smart, Georgia, Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma, Frank Beamer, of course, Virginia Tech. That's a hell of a list, bro.
Yeah, been very blessed to be around some great coaches, different styles, different types of programs, SEC, ACC, big cities like Atlanta, college towns like Athens and Blacksburg. Was able to, take so much from so many of those guys as I was shaping my philosophy and thinking, okay, if I ever get the opportunity to be a head coach, what do I want to be about? What do I want this program to be about? Was able to draw from a lot of Hall of Famers and future Hall of Famers in the process.
Isn't that beautiful about what you do? Because people in a lot of businesses talk about recreating the wheel, but there are a lot of different ways that you can grind it out in football and win, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Learn different ways, and you had to. You're at some places like I was a graduate assistant at Georgia Tech, or you're in the city of Atlanta. You got to recruiting to a high academic institution in a big city. Right. Then I go to Tennessee where you had to recruit nationally and be able to go out to California and get guys like Casey Clausen and Dante Stallworth and go out to Hawaii or whoever to get guys. Yeah. So, and then you go to you're coaching at Georgia where you're surrounded by great players in the state. So it's just different types of programs. But then also you got to put your own spin on it, and you can't. I see so many head coaches that they become a head coach, and it's like, we're going to do the exact blueprint that we did where I came from. We're going to have the same slogan, same chant, same everything. Yeah. And to me, you can't do that. I'm not saying anybody's wrong that does that. I think you got to be yourself. Every situation and program's different. And I've been around some different programs and trying to utilize the best of those with what fits at the University of South Carolina.
You talk about that and your own spin. How much fun are you having right now?
A blast.
Yeah,
I really am.
We have a lot of fun watching.
Yeah, without question.
And your program and the reaction of these kids. We talked to all of your players that are here.
Yeah.
And we're enjoying it too.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm not going to ever lose sight of how blessed I am. Like, I'm a head football coach in the SEC.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's dreaming itself.
And
yeah,
I think,
but it's a little stressful.
No, it is. But I think you see so many coaches that they become a head coach, and it's like there's this cookie cutter prototype that you feel like you're all of a sudden supposed to act.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be me. And don't get me wrong, when we went to Knoxville and did not have a good Saturday this past season, we went out to College Station and did not play well. It's not like I'm having a great time and there's smiles and there's pats on the backs. Man, this is awesome. But also, I'm a positive, high-energy person, and I don't want to ever lose sight of that. I try and maintain that consistency with our players. I'm blessed to be in this position. I get it. It's a job where I'm judged on 12 Saturdays a year, and if we don't win enough football games, I get fired. I understand that. But I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and I'm going to enjoy it because for me, it's really the love and the joy that I have right now is really because of the players that I get to be around. Like we've got some great kids in our program, 3 great guys that are here today, and I just enjoy being around them each and every day and doing something that I love or with people that I love doing it with.
A lot of guys that decided to come back and
Yes,
stick around because of what you guys are building too.
Yeah, and that was good. I mean, Zach Pickens is here today. Zach could have been a high draft pick, and came back. He knew that he needed that there were some things that he needed to do as a player to put himself in a better position for the NFL. But he also believes in what we're doing and wanted to be a part of it, like you said. Or guys like Javon Gwynn, our offensive lineman that's here today, that flat out told me, like, I didn't do a good enough job as a leader last year.
Wow.
And we have higher expectations here than winning 7 games. And I don't want to leave just winning 7. So I love the fact that they're enjoying their time here. I don't want our guys to ever not enjoy coming into our football facility each and every day. And don't get me wrong, it's hard work, it's demanding. We hold these guys accountable, but there's also got to be some joy
Yeah.
and fun in this thing as well.
South Carolina head coach Shane Beamer with us on 3.
Coach, we got something called the Boom Boom Room. Can I put Coach in the Boom Boom Room?
You want to put Coach
Heck
in the boom
yeah,
room?
you can put
He need to
Coach
go in the Boom Boom Room?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Coach, all right. Hunk, you about ready to go in the Boom Boom Room?
I'm ready.
All right, now listen, Coach. Now this right here, man, this is a lot of fun. You like to have fun.
I like that.
I mean, you know me, I love to have fun. So
I
this
heard
thing,
you can dance. Too.
yeah, don't you worry. They will put music on in the Boom Boom Room too.
We ain't dancing.
Oh, we ain't dancing today. Okay, it sounds good, Coach. You can tell me what you want to out the Boom Boom Room, but if you go in, you gotta do what I asked you to do.
Right.
So to get out of the Boom Boom Room, you have to tell everything truthfully. To the best of your ability. I am the judge, the executor, the bailiff, everything. In order for you to get out, I got to agree for it.
Okay.
Do you agree to these terms?
I agree with these terms. I just got to be truthful with what you asked me.
That's all you got to do.
All right.
Hunk, let's take a minute in the Boom Boom Room, baby.
Ah, yes. One man on his way into the Boom Boom Room.
That's Frank Caliendo doing Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. No, I ain't got the pull to give Morgan.
Yeah.
Not yet. You know what I mean? But we're going to get him. But, all right, Coach, we're in the Boom Boom Room brought to you by Low T Center now. Check this out. Finish this for me. This sentence for me. I hopped up out the bed. I turned my swag on. Took a look in the
Mirror, said what's up.
Come on, man. You know what I mean? Come on, Coach. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
That gets him out of the
That's
boom room.
you know what I mean?
Just
Hey,
like
it's just a nice warm up, man.
I told you, I was a graduate assistant in Tennessee. I was probably out like at Cool Beans on the strip one night with you, probably, when they were playing Soldier Boy. So.
All right, so let me ask you
That's
this, man.
Davenport song, too.
One thing you talk about, man, culture, and I'm huge on it, especially leadership with culture. And when you changing a culture, family has to be in it. You know, talking to your guys, that's the first word that comes up every single time you talk to one of your guys. Family.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, putting that into the culture of your program?
Yeah, no, it's good to hear him say that. For us, it's just kind of go back to what I said a minute ago about our guys. I want them to enjoy being in the program. The team dynamic, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much we had that when I got hired.
Right.
And the players, told me that it was more individuals and just trying to build that team. We use the word love a lot in our program. Yeah. And a lot of times you may use love and some people are like, ooh, said love like on a football team, but we do. I mean, we've got no problem. I mean, DeCarrion Joyner, who's here today, probably the coolest moment that we had last season came after a loss. We got the heck beat out of us by Texas A&M. And I got done doing the post game press conference.
Don't worry about it. It does this to people.
And I remember I'm walking back. We just got beat. I'm walking back to the coach's locker room to shower and change clothes to get on the plane to head back to Columbia.
Right.
And he stopped. We passed each other in the hall. I'm going to give him like one of the little bro things. Hey, up, man, keep your head up.
Yeah.
And he stopped me. He's like, no, come here. Give me a hug. He goes, I love you. And
right.
We're going to get this thing right.
That's
and we had an off week. We came right back and beat Florida, the next week. So I think that's the biggest thing for us, Ron. It's just being real, being genuine, just being who we are. Okay. And our players see that. We don't change after a loss, after a win. We're the same people. We learn from losses. We learn from wins, and just try and be a little bit better each week. But the type of people we are, that stays consistent.
Let me ask you this. You got to step away from the game for a second.
Okay.
What are you going to do to relax yourself? Outside of being with your family, outside of all these things, what do you do, Coach Beamer? What are you doing?
Outside of being with the family.
Yes, outside of being with the family.
Like
you get a choice. Like
Slay hits a bourbon and a cigar.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Late at night.
Put me on my back porch, you know what I mean? Give me a bourbon and a cigar.
The house we live in, Columbia, is I don't care what my wife does on the inside, what the house looks like. Just give me an outdoor area.
That's all you ask.
So for me, it's the same. I got a little fireplace. I'll go out there. I'll build a fire on the back porch and sit outside.
That's what I'm talking about.
I enjoy playing golf a little bit. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I don't get to do it enough. But for me, I like to work out, sit outside on the back porch, like to read.
Okay.
I'm pretty boring.
That's boring fun for me. I love it too. Well, Coach, man, I could get a little bit in depth with you, but I'm gonna let you out the boom boom room.
All right, I appreciate it. I enjoy being in the boom boom room.
Yeah, we'll get you in here
do it
again
again
another time. There you go. All right, Shane Beamer, you're out of the boom boom room.
Well. Looks like you did good in the boom boom room. Hoorah.
There you go.
Speaking of DK ends up having to play quarterback, your quarterback situation last year is unlike anything I've ever seen. Coach Nolan ends up playing quarterback. Whose idea was that?
Yeah.
And kind of walk us through the season from a quarterback perspective.
No, you're right. Like when I sat up here last year, or even just now when we're talking about all these coaches I've been around, there wasn't any coach that I could look at the blueprint of, okay,
Yeah.
you got to play 4 different quarterbacks because of injury, mainly, and make
And
one
one's
of
a
them,
coach and one's a
one's
wide receiver.
It was, it's funny. It's probably like last June. We were in the weight room or something, and Marcus Satterfield was our offensive coordinator, and we were at Tennessee together as GAs. And he came up to me one day, and he's like, that Zeb still has 1 year of eligibility left if he needed it, right? I'm like, really? And just kind of like, haha. Yep. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. And he goes, because we had football camp going on with all like the little kids. So he's out there like throwing to all the little kids at football camp, and he's like, he can really throw it pretty good. So I'm like, all right.
Like Billy Madison playing dodgeball.
So I didn't think anything of it. And then Luke Doty got hurt. And then Marcus came to me, and he's like, remember what I said about Zeb? And I wasn't going to like push it on Zeb. I wanted Zeb to come to me if he wanted to do it. So Luke got hurt, I think, on a Friday. We had a scrimmage on a Saturday. I never talked about it with Luke until I want to say Saturday night, maybe Sunday morning. I'm sitting in my office, and he comes in, and he doesn't even knock. He doesn't say, "Are you busy?" He just like busts open the door, and he's like, "I'm in. Let's roll." And it was one of those. You sure? Like, you good with this? And then I wanted to make sure that the players on our team were good with it as well. So I called in. I think the carry-on was in there. I think Javon came in. JJ Nagbari, Jalen Foster, 2 of our captains on defense last year. Look, here's what I'm thinking. Here's why. I want to make sure y'all are good with it. And then Zeb, you can't like go back and forth. Like, you're out of the coach's floor and you're going to be in the locker room. Like, you're a player. You're not doing both. And they were great. And it was pretty cool. So I was at Oklahoma, and in 2018, Kyler Murray was the starting quarterback for Oklahoma. We went up to play Iowa State, and starting quarterback Zeb Nolan. And we beat them that day. It was like 38-27, but Zeb lit us up. So I went back and just found some of the video from that game and showed it in a team meeting. Like, look, you guys know Zeb, the quarterback. Let me show you Zeb the GA. Yeah. Let me show you Zeb, the quarterback. And the players were like, dang, watching you and all that. So that gave him a little bit of credibility and kind of took off from there.
So how gratifying, having said all that, how gratifying was that comeback win against Vanderbilt?
Huge.
To go down the field in the 2-minute situation.
I mean, just such a huge – I don't know if we're sitting – I know we're not, because we probably don't qualify for a bowl because we 6 wins. Like, the excitement, the energy, the North Carolina bowl game, who knows if that happens. The buzz about our program right now, if we don't win that Vanderbilt game, because we ended up getting our 6th win late in the year. But that was huge. We made a change at quarterback. Zeb came in cold off the bench, went right down the field, and was a huge play for us to a huge way to finish that.
All right.
Hey, and who knows if you entice a transfer quarterback to your program too. So, on the way out, we have to ask about Spencer Rattler and how the transition is going, because he isn't here. I know you brought your representatives who have stayed and decided to come back and are a big part of that team. But how is that transition going?
Yeah, it's been great. Spencer did a fantastic job at Oklahoma. I was there with him for 2 of his 3 years. He came in here in January, did a great job acclimating himself to the team, not forcing himself on anyone. He's taken on more of a leadership role, I think, over the last couple months coming out of spring practice. He's been awesome, and we've got to be great around Spencer, players and coaches. And Spencer would have been a great representative of us today as well. It was just one of those that we brought the 3 guys that have played a lot of football for us and are seniors on our football team. And it's like I told the print media downstairs, we'll bring Spencer next year when he's a senior as well. So if he wants his opportunity, he can come back, and we'll bring him next year as well. But proud of him and the way he's handled it, and then proud of our players as well for how they've handled that situation also.
Love it.
Coach, you're a competitor. You used to come down and watch us at TBA.
Yeah.
I used to sneak and watch y'all too, man, in the manager games at Stokely. Y'all used to go down.
Yeah.
Who could you take off with Jay Billis and that little manager team that they got going on? Could you go get some buckets in that if need to be?
Nah, see, I didn't play over there at Stokely.
Okay.
I played with, like, out at one of the apartment complexes, like towards like Westtown Mall.
Yeah.
There was an apartment complex that had this huge like fence around it
Yeah.
called the Cage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went in there, and at the time it was Matt McMahon, who's the new head basketball coach at LSU.
Mhm.
Eric Conkle's the head coach
my guy.
at where's he? Tulsa now.
Yep.
So I played with Conkle, Matt McMahon, some of those guys. I was down there taking on the basketball guys in the Cage at some apartment complex in
Yeah.
West Knoxville.
I
I wasn't good enough to play in Stokely.
Hey, but that's all right. Yeah, I mean, I just throw that out there for him.
I never got invited to Stokely, so I had to go play the apartment complex
Put
basketball.
you out west somewhere.
Yeah, put you out on the West End.
South Carolina head coach Shane Beamer. Shane, thank you, man.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.